I met him in a seminar. We started just being friends, right? And was pretty normal person. You will never think that how things were end this way. I don't remember anything out of the ordinary when we met, started being friends, met the family, and little by little just kind of got used to hanging out more and more. At the beginning of the relationship, there was no particular sign that he was actually like a perpetrator or an abuser. I started to see the sign, I think, even in the dating part. There was pretty much this obsessive behavior of knowing where I was, what I was doing, who I talked to, that type of controlling, and even making threats about if you don't do this way, this is what I'm gonna do, or destroying property of others. But little by little, putting all those together, and after this point that I lived with him in the US, I moved out from Puerto Rico with him when I was pregnant with our baby. And I saw the controlling part and the expectation that when he got home from work, I had to have everything set. That regime of you have to do this way. And if I didn't do it the right way, I would get a scream or a tone or maybe an insult in there. So those were the first things that I noticed. He was getting irritated for something. I can't even remember what it was at that point, because everything was slowly progressing. And I called the police. At this point, he had pushed me, hit me with pillows so it wouldn't leave a mark on me. And pretty much the police kind of like not laugh at me, but didn't take it seriously. And they just left me with the abuser at home by myself. No friends, no family, nobody. So at that point, I felt like I was fully stuck. Not only because I had a kid with him, but I felt just powerless. Like, what could I do if I just called the police and I'm here home by myself again with an upset and abuser, right? So it was like knowing that, yeah, there's something going on, but how do you get out of it? I applied to CBP around 2007, I would say. I was already pretty focused on and determined on what type of job I wanted to do, what type of career I want to have. In some part of the back of my head, I knew that applying for CBP was going to be a huge role in how I was going to get out of this situation. It's just that drive of just keep working towards getting those dreams and grabbing those goals and pretty much hold on to them. When you find a why, when you find that why, that reason that you're doing things in life or whatever drives you, besides having this career, right, I always look into law enforcement, I always look into the federal government, but I had 3 kids. And I had my kids really young too, so I guess it was just that thing of, I don't want to be a stereotype for them. That image of just living from welfare and just staying stuck in there, which is what I don't agree with, just because I had them or just because I was victim. I don't want to be the stereotype of consequences just determining what my life was going to look like. I was not going to be that. I wanted to be that mom that my kids will say, that's my mom. And they will feel pride of it. And they will see it as, if she could do this, I can too. If she could overcome all those things, I can get whatever I want from life. So I think that was my drive more than anything. Coming to FLETC, coming to the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center, had a lot to do with me realizing that I needed to get out of there. And I guess that I had some classmates and peers that noticed what was going on because they would see me on the phone, on the cell phone, and me hiding on my dorms to answer questions and have to video chat with this person or take pictures, or so it's just feeling that when you see that you don't have a normal life, right? That was, I guess, when it started. But my final breaking point was after I was already an officer. I graduated from FLETC successfully, which was crazy in terms of I still had to deal with this abuser while I was trying to concentrate in my training. But for me, being in FLETC in the academy was more like a safe haven. And it sounds crazy, but it was. So at that point, that when I returned home, and I was in Miami because I was hired for Miami airport, I was not the same person. I was not the same person anymore. So 2 weeks after I graduated, he comes back home and he's criticizing my food, criticizing what I've done, criticizing me as a housewife, as a mom. And I didn't care anymore. It was not affecting me anymore. The words were not affecting me anymore. And I think he didn't like that because he saw that he was not controlling me anymore. So that same night, he came having a conversation with me saying that he was gonna leave, but he wanted to have a relationship with his child. And I felt that was a trap. I felt that he telling me that it was a trap to see how I was gonna react, to see if I was gonna tell him, yes, leave, or yeah, we can definitely do that. That's how I felt. So I was scared that whatever answer I would give him, it was just gonna make him snap. And I said, well, I don't understand, because we said that we were gonna have some type of therapy, marriage counseling. So where is this coming from? I threw that there to see how he was gonna react. And he just started jumping on me. And that's where he just started like pinching me, pushing me, dragging me, tried to even asphyxiated me sitting on my head. I tried to run to the door. He grabbed me by the neck, threw me to the floor, dragged me down the hallway, kicked me. And it got to the point that he pushed me to this room. And I had my lockbox with my duty weapon in there. He didn't have the combination, of course, but he grabbed that lockbox, which is pretty hard and heavy with the weapon inside. And he just lifted up, looked me down to the ground and said, I'm gonna break your head. And in that moment, I just went blank. I didn't know what to do. Then my 3-year-old boy just stood there at the door and just started screaming, horrified. And just remember that image of my 3-year-old boy in diapers, screaming, horrified with that picture. It just breaks my heart. It's just like I can't even assimilate, like actually think that happened to me. And that pretty much just stopped him from what he was going to do. And I was able to go to work next day. So I think I said to myself, I think this is it. If I don't do anything right now today, I might not be alive tomorrow. My head was spinning horribly because I'm like, everything's gonna change. I will have to figure out life with no support whatsoever. Now I'm gonna have crazy schedules, how am I gonna deal with the kids? And like, you need to stay alive. So that was the moment that I went to what we call FTO, which is the field training officer. When you're new, they're the ones that are in charge of the training, making sure that you cover all the phases that you need to know before you get actually released on the field. And I just went to her. I guess I felt, I don't know, that trust that I saw her, and she was a little bit older, so I guess it's that mom figure. And I just went to her, and I didn't have any words to say. Nothing came out from my mouth. I just pretty much moved my collar and showed her the marks. And I said, I need help. She was so shocked. She was like, oh my God. So pretty much we started running through all the chain of commands. And supervisor, chief, watch commanders. Because I say he's on his way to get me here. And I don't want to go with him. So basically they helped me out, reaching out to Miami-Dade police. So yeah, I had that support. This could happen to anyone. This could happen to anyone. And we see people, we just see faces, we don't know their stories. We don't know their history. We don't know their background. We don't know what it's their life back home. I was still having a normal life to the eyes of others, right? I would go to work, but you don't know. Because I used to cover my bruises. I used to cover up the things that happened. And I think this will empower people. In my case, right, women, and especially if they're in uniform. So to not be afraid to seek for help. You're not going to get in trouble. You're not going to make things worse. On the contrary, you're going to start living the life, being free and being healthy. So I think it's a call to reach out for help.